Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are diving into a really big shift in how businesses think. We're talking about cybersecurity, but not as this boring, necessary evil. We're going to look at how it can actually become a huge driver of growth and a real competitive advantage.
But first, you know the drill. Before we get into protecting your business, if you could take just a second to hit that like button and subscribe, it makes a huge difference and helps us keep these explainers coming. Okay, let's jump in.
So let's start with the big question, the one that really frames our whole conversation today. When you look at your company's budget, do you see that line for cybersecurity and just think, how can we get this number lower? Or do you see it as a strategic investment, something that's actually going to fuel the future of the business? How you answer that one question? Well, it changes everything.
And to really get to the bottom of that, we have to start by busting a very common and, honestly, a very dangerous myth. I'm talking about the cost center myth.
This quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. For way too long, the default mindset has been that cybersecurity is just another bill you have to pay, kind of like the electricity or the rent. And so the goal becomes, let's spend the absolute bare minimum, just enough to get by. But in our world today, that way of thinking is just, it's beyond risky.
And you can really see the difference here, side by side. The old expense mindset is all about being reactive. You wait for something bad to happen, then you spend the money. You see security as this chore, a necessary evil. But the strategic investment mindset, that's proactive. It's all about building confidence, and it understands that being great at security isn't a burden. It's a huge advantage that can make you stand out.
Now, if you stick with that old-school cost-cutting mindset, you're not just missing an opportunity. You're actually setting yourself up for some very real and very painful consequences. So let's talk about the incredibly high price of neglect.
Look, when a data breach hits, the initial financial hit is often just the beginning. The real, lasting damage, that's your reputation. Suddenly, customers don't trust you anymore, and why would they? That loss of confidence means you lose out on future business. And other companies you work with, they start looking at you as a risk, which can damage those critical partnerships. It's a domino effect.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? Whatever tiny amount of money you might save by cutting corners on security, it is absolutely dwarfed by the massive cost of a single breach. The math just doesn't add up.
Okay, so this leads us to the big idea, the core concept for today. Instead of just reacting to fear, we need to completely flip the script and focus on what we can build. And it all comes down to investing in something called digital trust.
So what in the world is digital trust? Well, think of it as the foundation of doing business today. It's that feeling of confidence that your customers, your partners, and even your own employees have that you're going to do the right thing with their data. It's the feeling of safety they get when they interact with you online.
And this is so important. You can't just slap a "We value your privacy" slogan on your website and call it a day. That's not how trust works. Trust is earned. It's built piece by piece through the actual, tangible actions you take to protect people.
All right, so what do those actions actually look like? How does smart spending turn into real, effective security? Let's get practical and break down how it works.
Thoughtful spending is all about creating layers of defense. It's not about finding one magic solution, because that doesn't exist. It's about combining the tech stuff, like strong firewalls, data encryption, and multi-factor authentication, with the human stuff, like really good employee training. And just as important, it's about having a plan. Good monitoring to spot trouble early, and a solid incident response plan for when things inevitably go wrong.
And hey, let's be real for a second. Perfection is not the goal here. No system is ever going to be 100% hacker-proof. The real goal is to be resilient. It's about building a security system that makes you a much harder target, which dramatically lowers your risk and ensures that if something does happen, the damage is contained. So you can see how it all connects, right? Step 1, you put these smart, layered defenses in place. Step 2, by doing that, you're showing everyone that you're responsible and you're thinking ahead. And that leads directly to step 3. You build real, lasting confidence with every single person who interacts with your business. The action you take is what directly builds the trust. And this is where it gets really exciting. Because once you've built that strong foundation of digital trust, cybersecurity stops being just a defense. It flips the script and becomes a powerful, offensive tool. It actually becomes your competitive advantage. And just look at the payoffs. Customers will literally choose you over the competition because they trust you. Big-time partners will be eager to work with you because they know you meet their high security standards. You'll even find it easier to attract the best talent because skilled people want to work for a company that has its act together.
It makes everything you do stronger.
So always remember this. When you invest in cybersecurity the smart way, you're not just buying software or firewalls. You are actively protecting the 3 things that matter most for the long-term health of your business: your relationships, your revenue, and your reputation. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Is your business currently operating from a place of fear, just trying to avoid the bad stuff? Or are you proactively building a future on a solid foundation of trust? The way you answer that, well, that could very well determine your success for years to come. Thanks for tuning in.